Contestant number 5, Regina Dozier. They call me Lady Cougar. They call me Lady Cougar, Regina Dozier.
Many of my friends call me Lady Cougar. Oh, don't judge. At least not until you hear the rest of the story. To the contest master, fellow Toastmasters and friends, it took me a long time to get comfortable with the fact that one day I would be an old, gray-haired lady. Well, only if I got rid of Lady Clairol hair color. You see, I've always been a people watcher, and many times when I was young, I would watch people walking down the street. Often my eyes would lock on certain individuals. They all seem to have one thing in common. They had this gray matter coming out of their head. And I would think to myself, old people. And as I would continue to watch them as they walked slowly but deliberately down the street, I would sometimes chase after them to see if I could help them. After all, they were old people. And now, when I look at myself, I realize I have become one of them. I am now an old person. And I guess I should have seen it coming. You see, when I was 13 years old, I was standing in front of a mirror, combing my hair, when all of a sudden, I noticed this one gray hair sticking up in my head, as if it were a tree planted in the forest, except the forest was my head. I was horrified, but as soon as I got myself together, I yanked it out, I threw it in the trash, and I acted as if it never existed, not realizing at that time that when you have issues in your life that you choose not to deal with, they don't go away. Oh, no, 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 no. They always come back to haunt you. You see, at this point in my life, there were 3 reasons that caused me to have gray hair. Reggie, Gary, and Brian, my 3 younger brothers, oh, they gave me grief. I remember a conversation I had with my sister about getting old. I said, Evelyn, I just realized that when I turn 20, you will be 30. And when I turn 30, you will be 40. Well, she tried to shut me down, but I was continuing to talk. And I said, Evelyn, when I turn 40, you will be 50 years old. That's half a century old. You will be an old woman. Well, she looked like she wanted to smack me into tomorrow, but instead she said, little girl, this conversation is over and I am through with you. She storms off and she doesn't speak to me the rest of the day. Well, when I think back on that time, I have to laugh. Look at me now, 50 plus years old. Gray matter somewhere in this head. I am that old person I was always concerned about. But the problem is I do not feel old. I feel like I have so much life and vitality still in this body, and there's something inside that says I have more to rap about. And yes, I do get confused when I look in the mirror and see the gray hair. But the longer I look, I see so many more possibilities if I dare. So I'm driving down the street one day, feeling good, singing my music. Don't worry, bum, ba-dum, bum, be happy. And And I happen to look over to the right, and I see this young, handsome specimen of a man. He could not have been a day over 38. I may be old, but I am not blind. Well, at least not when I have my glasses on. We acknowledge each other and keep driving. When I get to my exit, I make a left, he makes a left. The light turns red. All of a sudden, I hear honk, honk. I look, and he's mouthing, roll your window down. Being the lady that I am, I flash him a smile and ignore him. And then I hear honk, honk again. I look, and he's like, please roll your window down. I think the cute thing has manners, so I roll my window down. And this is what he said to me. You know you look good, don't you? Well, he must have seen every tooth in my mouth when I smiled and said thank you. And then he said, have a wonderful day. Beautiful. The light turns green. I start singing again. Don't worry. Bum, ba-dum, bum. I'm happy. Well, when I get to the restaurant to meet my friends, I must have floated in because they wanted to know why I was beaming. And I told them what had happened with this young man. And we laughed and we giggled as women do. And then all of a sudden, one of them said,